What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Amy, and today I think we have solved the mystery of the audio. First things first, though, I want to just mention I put together, as best as I could remember, A to Z, everything I've done to set up this motovlogging setup. So if you're interested in that guide, 100% free. It's a link in my description, and you just put in your email and I'll send you the guide. And it's literally everything I've done, from the helmet, the mount, the camera, the mic, the adapters, everything, even what editing software I use. So feel free to check that out, link in the description. But yeah, anyways, kind of dodging some like rainy weather today. This clouds are just looking pretty ominous. It feels humid out here too, so I'm just gonna do a quick ride. I had kind of mentioned it on my post on YouTube that I might not get to ride until Saturday, but this morning it was sunny, so I was like, you know what? Let me get out here Friday. So the mic, okay, quick update on the mic stuff. I've been following. It's having a lot of wind noise, distortion, and basically it's come down to, I believe it was mostly due to the gain, which I have now at negative 15 out of 20. I think before I had it at like negative 9. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go like really low on this gain. And I did some tests on my dirt bike and my four-wheeler, trying to get up, you know, like 40 or so, just to kind of mimic what it would be like, you know, on the bike. And it seemed way better. I also have the mic tucked all the way into my cheek pad at the moment. Like, you can't even hardly see the wind muff. So, yeah. I think we're in business for real this time. I'm determined to have good, clean audio. I was like, this is a must for me. So as we're putzing around town again, I wanted to give you guys a story. It's about dreams. And I felt like, you know, maybe somebody needed to hear this. And it's about this bike, which I actually call Dreamchaser. That was the name I gave it upon the journey of getting it. So this is my 6th bike. And the reason why I chose the ZX14R was I would watch motovlogs, and there was a couple of people I followed. One guy, what was his name? Hollywood, I think it said like Busa Killer or something in his title. He took down all his videos. But I was like, yeah, that's a really nice bike. It sounds really good. And yeah, so I think it kind of sparked my interest in it initially. And then as I went up the ranks of, like, you know, little 650 Ninja to a 600 Gixxer to a 750 Gixxer, I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready for like a big bike. I wanted to just go right to this one. I didn't want to get the, I didn't want to just go to a leader bike, you know? I was like, I want what I want. So I started looking for this bike, and I was real particular about the colors and the features it was going to have. I really, really wanted the green, which is just so beautiful in the sun. And yeah, so that was kind of like a must. And it was like really green or orange. I'll take that back. I was kind of like semi-interested in the orange color too for a little bit. And I was like, okay, you know, let's start looking. And initially I wasn't sure if I wanted a Gen 1 or a Gen 2. Because the Gen 1s had a different motor. Went up to 2011. I think they started in 06, if I remember right. And after doing some research and talking to people in the Facebook groups and stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm going for Gen 2. I want the better motor. and newer. So I just kept looking on Marketplace, and this was going on. I was like looking every day, you know, a couple hours a day, just dreaming about it, you know, and thinking about it, looking at all these bikes. And in Florida, where I lived at the time, there wasn't much available. And then what there was, of course, more than I wanted to pay. I was like, well, maybe I need to look out of state because, you know, a lot of people buy bikes down here. It's probably overpriced. So I started looking at like Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, stuff like that. And I was like, man, I'm still not really finding what I'm looking for. And I was like, shoot, let's just look around the whole freaking country. Like, who cares, right? And I find this bike in Missouri. How funny that I live here now, but at the time I lived in Florida. And this bike was going for like a steal. And it had the Stone Ghoul flash. You know, it had, you know, it's already stretched and lowered, which I wasn't looking for a stretch bike. In fact, I thought, you know, do I really want that? But I'm kind of glad I just stuck with it because I really like the way it rides. Well, and of course, you know, it was the color I wanted and the model. And so I messaged the guy, like, I think it had posted within like an hour by the time I messaged him. And I was like, I want the bike. You know, he had kindly sent me a video, start up and walk around of it. And I was like, you know, I'm going to get a trailer. I said, I'm coming from Florida. I am going to, you know, come pick up the bike. I said, it's going to take me like 2 days to get there. And he was like, okay, no problem. And I was like, look, let me give you a deposit, you know, or something to hold it. Because, like, I really want the bike. I don't want to, you know, like sell it to somebody else. And so he was like, you don't have to, but okay. He's like, you know, so I think we agreed on like $150 or something. So then it came down to the money. So at the time, I was selling my Gixxer 600, but I hadn't sold it yet. And I had a guy who was interested in coming out to look at the bike while I was trying to go get this one. So I told my husband, I said, look, you know, the guy's going to come by, like, before I leave, check it out, and then he's probably going to want to pick it up while I'm gone. So basically, that's what happened. But unfortunately, I just, you know, I got like a little deposit from him, didn't get the full amount. And so I was like, dang, you know, but I had cash. Like, other than that, I just didn't have the full amount. And at the time, I think the bike was 10 grand, if I remember right, which was a really good deal for, it only had, it wasn't even 4,000 miles on it. And so, yeah, so anyways, I was like, I gotta come up with like, I think I was short like 3,000 or 4,000. And I'm thinking, you know, okay, I gotta get this cash together. And it was crazy. I was just like so obsessed with this bike. All I could think about was riding it, dreaming about it. I was like, I'm getting the freaking bike. And then I got this idea to sell something in my online business, which was coaching, actually. I had 2 clients, 2 people come out of like seemingly nowhere and pay me. It just worked out perfectly. And I was like, well, there you go. And I share this because, you know, you might be thinking like, oh, how am I going to get the money? Like, where's the money going to come from? Whatever. And it's not your job to worry about how. Like, just focus on what you want in life and let it happen. You know, because like stuff will just come along and you'll be like, oh, I never could have predicted that to happen, right? I'm sure if you think back in your life, you're like, yeah, stuff has just shown up sometimes when I need it. And that's kind of how I live my life these days. And so, like, you know, getting this bike was literally living in that way. That's why I call it the Dreamchaser. My message to you today is like, go for what you want, first of all. Don't settle. You know what I mean? Don't be like, well, you know, I really want this one bike, but I guess I'll just settle for this other thing right now. I mean, if you just want a bike, go for it. But like, if you're going for your dream bike, you know what I mean? Just focus on it. Just thinking about it, you know?